Hello and welcome to another First Descendant video. So today we are looking at an updated bunny build, and this is for the 400% dungeons. And basically we have two new power mods that I wanted to use in this build to make bunny also very good at clearing the 400% dungeons. So Freyna has become very popular. Everyone is running Freyna, but bunny can still do that comfortably. So previously, up until now, everybody was using bunny for clearing 250% dungeons, things like that. Now you can get even more power and use bunny just as well, or even maybe she's still slightly better. And we are doing this by adding a couple mods and changing one transcendent mod. So here it is. Here's the build if you just want to have a look. But keep in mind the components, external components, and the reactor play a huge role. I myself was struggling a little bit to find the best reactors and the best external components, so I had to make some compromises there. So some of the things here are affected by that. So if I had the best rules, I may have changed a few things here, but this is generally what you need. So we have swapped the high voltage for the electric condense. I'll spend a little time explaining what this does and how this works better for 400%. And what we have also done is we have added the new singular amplification and electric amplification. So previously we were using focus on singular, focus on electric or power increase. This is better in terms of power. And then we have cooldown mods. We have mods to reduce this MP cost, range, and things like that. So nothing too complicated. We have dangerous ambush for more power. If you're struggling for MP, you can use energy collection. That will make it a bit easier, energy collection, so you have MP all the time, because the objective with the bunny builds is to always keep running. And then your third ability, which shoots out the damage, we also need that to be available all the time. So the cooldown needs to be lower than the duration. So this is how we have ended up with. So now I'll show you a quick demonstration of transcendent mods, this one here, to show you what it does. So let's remove this and just talk about how bunny works without any mods. So what I'll do is I'll summon some Vulgus. We'll summon these guys, Order of Truth, because these are weaker to electricity. You can summon any of them. This will kill all of them. But these guys will take more damage because they're weaker to electricity. They are the toxic type. Now, when you run with your second ability, it charges your electricity the second bar, and then you can activate your third ability. And as you can see here, the damage is in a radius around bunny, in a circle around bunny. It hits, and you can mod this to increase the range of the circle, and any enemy that is within the circle will take damage. You can see they're taking quite a lot of damage. All of them are getting hit in this circle. Now let's show you what we were doing earlier. So we were using, up until now, high voltage. Now what high voltage does is it changes the third into, instead of a circle around us, it takes out enemies by shooting 3 bolts of lightning. So this is a quick recap for anybody new here, because when we go into the third mod, you'll see the difference. So it shoots 3 bolts of lightning, does quite a lot of damage, all great. However, the downside for this one now with the 400% dungeon is that there are just too many enemies, and it's not as efficient as clearing all of them with the circle. So we are going back to that original circle style damage. So even if we remove this, we'll be fine, but we still have a space for a transcendent mod. So we are going to use electric condense. Now what this does is the third becomes as it was previously, and the fourth, depending on how much energy you have in the second bar, it will do more damage. So if you don't have a lot of energy, it'll do some damage. When you have a bit, it'll do more damage. So look at the numbers here, 225, 254, it's going up because our energy is going up. So we are running and we are generating more power, 371, 401, 430, 459. So it's now full, electricity is full, we are doing 459 damage. So that is one benefit of this transcendent mod. The other thing it does is if you activate the fourth ability, it creates a massive explosion after 5 seconds. Okay, so in order to show that, we will make these Vulgus not invincible. And now we just run. I'll not activate the third ability. We press this, it'll take 5 seconds to charge, and then it'll cause a massive explosion. Here it comes. Boom. Huge damage, millions of damage per hit. So now with this setup, we are also taking advantage of our fourth ability, because up until now with Bunny, we were only using our second and third abilities, and occasionally some people were using our fourth ability, which was normally like a beam of lightning. So now what we have ended up here is with our third ability, we have a cooldown of 20.5 seconds and we have a duration of 23 seconds. So our duration is more than the cooldown. Now, besides this, our range, as you can see, is 20.1 meters. Maximum it can go is 21. If you can get to like max 21, that would be great, but this is good enough. It's not going to cause us too many problems. Now, let's quickly cover the external components and the reactors. Now, with the reactors, I've been farming the reactors for a couple of days and I've not found anything that I really wanted, but I've come up with a bit of a compromise, and what I have here is electric skill power boost ratio and skill duration up. Ideally, what I would like is cooldown and singular skill power boost ratio. That would be a little more power, and lower cooldown would mean our fourth ability, the explosion that we have here, this will trigger more often. It will be like lower cooldown. So right now we have a 26-second cooldown for this one. We can get it lower if we have a cooldown mod for this one. Again, not like very important to have that, but it'll be more powerful. So that would be the ideal reactor, but I haven't found that yet, so I've been just using this, and this is good enough. I have not faced any issues. With the external components, ideally 2 pieces from the supernova set and 2 pieces from the annihilation set would work wonders for you, because if you have the supernova set, let me see if I have any supernova sensors. So if you have 2 pieces from here, you get 8.6% electric skill power modifier, so more power. And if you have the 4 pieces, you have fusion power as well, which will be amazing if you could get that. Now, the reason why I don't have this is because the components from the supernova set, which we get from executioner hard boss, they tend to have more max, shield and things like that. And what we want is we want all the MP related stuff in our external components so that we don't run out of MP and we can always keep running. So as you can see, this one has MP recovery out of combat. This one has max MP in gold and MP recovery in combat also in gold. And then this one, the memory has MP recovery modifier. With the processor, you can put anything you like. I've put max shield here, toxin resistance. But you want all 4 of these MP related stuff to make sure you are running all the time. Maybe not all 4, but max MP, MP recovery, these things you do want MP recovery out of combat so that you can have your MP and increase the MP. Like by default, I think it's 300. You want to increase this as much as possible, because otherwise you may have to use some sort of mods to recover the energy or have cost reduction over here. You can make this work. Now what you can do is, instead of dangerous ambush, you can put the energy collector if you are low on energy or if you're using the MP very quickly. But in high density areas with a lot of enemies, you will not really have an issue with the energy orbs that drop. So that should keep you going all the time. We don't want Bunny to ever stop. We want her to be running throughout the missions, throughout the infiltration missions or whatever. So this is basically the setup. I did get 2 pieces from the annihilation because this gives us an increase in the duration. So that is a good compromise for me. Ideally, like I said, 4 pieces from the supernova set would be fantastic. Just more electric power. Everything works very well. It will be a nice setup. In total, I'll maybe try a little more. But yeah, it's not as easy to get hold of this because of the RNG. And the reactors, I think I spent 2 hours this morning and I still couldn't get the right one. Because again, if it's the right one, it's not for the right gun or something like that. Normally, you want the mounting weapon to be SMG or something smaller, like a pistol or an SMG. The bigger the gun, the slower she'll move. So with Bunny, you want speed. So Thunder Cage works the best. We are not going to use the gun even against the hard bosses, the 2 bosses at the end of the 400% dungeons. All right, now what I'll do is I'll run the 400% dungeon to show you this build in action, and then you can use that if you want. So we'll go with quarantine zone, 400%. Reward doesn't matter, I don't really need anything. We'll start this in private, and yeah, this is the build in action. Okay, here we are in the dungeon. The only thing you have to do with the bunny is keep an eye on the orbs, and yeah, just pick them up every time you see them. So normally you won't need to use the fourth ability because none of these guys will be challenging enough to cause you enough problems, but the bosses at the end, or maybe even these, well, even these guys are not really a challenge. They don't go down in one hit, but they'll still go down comfortably. So you just need to make sure your third ability is always up. So we are still using the two abilities. We only have to briefly press the third ability when the cooldown is ready. And yeah, just clear anything. The only thing that took me a little while to get used to is, like, with the high voltage, we are used to seeing the 3 bolts shooting out. And yeah, that was something we got used to. This circle, it's hard to see sometimes because it's so far ahead of you that you think, like, is it active, is it not active? But yeah, when you see the enemies falling down like this, it shouldn't really cause you. See, even this guy, is it a challenge? Yeah, just make sure to pick up the energy mods. So you can see here, compared to Freyna, this is much cleaner. Your frame rates will thank you, your GPU and your CPU will thank you, and you can still clear it just as efficiently. With Freyna, you throw the Q and you just watch the carnage, the explosions. With Bunny, enemies are dying in front of you. Now this area, we should have a few more bigger enemies, so you can activate the third, cause some explosions, enjoy watching the mayhem and the carnage. There are a couple of more elite monsters here. So you can see here, we are just running around in circles, blowing everything up comfortably. Just keep making sure. See, these are the only guys remaining, the big bosses. So we'll try and activate our fourth ability and see if we can take these guys out. And they died before the explosion. How unfortunate. Pick up any good loot that you see, and we head further on. Activate on third, make sure it's always up. You see how far the ring is in front of us? Yeah, sometimes with so many enemies, you don't see that ring, and you just wonder if it's active. We got everyone right. Yeah. Now we come into the boss room, 2 bosses, and even these guys, you can kill them without having to use your weapon. With Freyna, you have your ultimate weapon, which is the unique weapon, the ultimate. So you can pull out that one. With Bunny, you don't even need to use anything. So now with these 2 remaining, let's just use our third and see if it cause an explosion. Boom, explosion. Also with the range and how this works, you don't even need to face them. You can just stand behind, for example, here, and you're still doing damage because of the range being so, so large. Duplicate Al-Zaroke. And also with Bunny, the good thing with Bunny is the immunity balls that these guys have. They can be taken out very comfortably because your electricity does that very nicely. Yeah, just don't go too close to them because they'll punch you or hit you. I'm just waiting for the explosion. Make sure to pick up the health and the energy orbs constantly. Okay, one of them is dead. I did not even see that. Now this final guy. Let's use our fourth ability, see if we can take him out with that. I think I was too far away there. Because we have almost 21 meter range, 20 meter to be exact, 20.1 I think. And he's dead as well. Okay, so as you can see, without shooting a bullet, we have cleared the 400% dungeon quite comfortably. I'm just waiting to see what the time was. And we did it in 4 minutes 18 seconds. Could be faster, could be slower, depends, but yeah, it was very comfortable, as you can see. And also we don't have too much health. We have 12,000 HP, as you can see there. 12,000 HP, 10,000 defense, so we are pretty good on that, mostly because of the external components. Some of them have good health. This one has 2 double max HP here. So yeah, we are very comfortable health wise as well. So here's the setup again if you wanted to have a look. And yeah, overall very easy to mod for me personally, because I had already put so many catalysts into Bunny. I did not really have to do much here, and I just swapped out 1 or 2 mods and we got this working. So like I said, if you are struggling for energy based on your external components, you can swap this out and put energy collection. You lose a little damage from, like, if you saw in the lab when it was doing 459,000, you'll be down to like 399,000 if I recall. And that will be the only difference, which will still be more than comfortable for these type of touches. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching if you did. And yeah, see you next time.